Yo! What up? It's DJ Sus One, the feature presentation. I'm in the building. Hip Hop Nation Sirius XM, co-host Ali V.
You?
My dude is in the building. My guy's in the building. First of all, he came to the show. Damn, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
He was late, so we didn't get the chance to do the full interview.
And I'm not late much. What's amazing about that is I'm the on-time rapper. I'm usually just like today. I've been sitting for 30 minutes because people think rappers are late. But because I run a business, I respect people's time. And something real live happened. And, okay, finish the story.
Yeah, let me finish the intro. He promised me this interview. He said, I got you, Sus. Look me in the eye. He actually called my phone and said, yo, I'm coming into town. We gonna get this. I'm a man of my word. Yeah. And here he is today. My brother David Banner back in the building.
Even more than that, bro. I told him, like, when people are, because now that it's album time, we got all of the people setting up stuff. You got the publicists and all this kind of stuff. And I told him, I was like, man, like, first of all, I want to make sure that I do the people, because to be honest with you, when stuff got rough for me, Sirius in general looked out for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When we didn't have no radio singles, when we were just trying to keep enough music out there to stay relevant, or in the people's faces, I should say. And they held me down, so it was like certain people that I had to make sure that I got, I took care of, and people who, that they know that I appreciate their space in my life. And, the thing that he's not going to say, because he's so humble at times, is that we had a real grown-up man conversation. And I know what he wanted to set up, but you got access to me, so we going to really do what you said you want to do. He wanted to have a real sit-down. He said, bro, I don't usually do this, bro, and I want to have a real sit-down intellectual conversation, because we talked about God, and it went viral. Like, I'm talking about.
Were you? I don't know if you were part of the show when this happened.
No,
she wasn't here that day.
I was in the room, but I wasn't a part of the show at the time.
You weren't a part of the show at the time. Yeah, so I don't know who was filming. The reason I'm asking you that is because I want to know who the fuck was filming, because it wasn't supposed to go viral, but it went viral.
We told him. It's on the video. Right. Like, yo, what you doing with that? You said that. It's like, yo, what you doing with that? He's like, oh, man, it's just for personal growth or personal stuff, shit like that. And it ended up, because I'll even tell you something. I never, still to this day, because we told him not to do it, I never retweeted it or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just watched it grow inherently on its own, bro. And it made its way around.
Well, you know what it is? People like to hear real talk. And inside all the bullshit, they want to hear real talk. And that was a lot of real talk that day. Yeah. Behind the scenes, but it was real talk. And we're going to have real talk today.
Okay.
The God Box, first of all, I listened to the whole album. He said, listen to the fucking album, Sus.
I called him. And certain people, because I know how I am, my assistant, when it's something real, she has to touch me.
Right.
She's like, hey, I need you to listen to this.
Right.
So I know how busy he is, and I was like, bro, before we can really have a conversation that I need to have with you and your fans, bro, I realize I need you to listen to the album. So I called him. I was like, bro. He was like, what's up, Banner? He was moving there. Yeah. I was like, bro, hold on, bro. I need you to get the album. I need you to listen to it. Word.
Now, I'm gonna go out and say this. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, because a lot of people talk about Kendrick's album, Drake's album, all these classic albums. Now, that David Banner album is fucking classic. Yeah. Okay, and I'm not sure how many people are aware of that. And I'm sure a lot of people are aware of it, but I'm not sure, because when they have those conversations, they talk about Kendrick, they talk about. If you haven't heard the God Box album, you need to go fucking listen to that album right now, and we're gonna talk about it right now.
Bro, that was the main reason why I wanted.
This is the album right here.
This is the reason why I wanted you to listen to it, so we can have that conversation. And I know that you are a listener and a lover of music, and that is literally the conversation that I knew that we were going to have. And the sad thing is, one, the fact that we are from the South. I mean the MCs that are from the South, we have historically always, our lyricists have always been looked over for the most part. I mean, from Ludacris to Bun B to Scarface, for me.
Well, I personally always thought Ludacris and Scarface was incredible.
But you never hear him in these conversations. My favorite rapper of all time is Andre 3000.
Okay.
Like, easy. I never, anybody that I listen to ever hear him.
Nah, they mention Andre.
I don't ever hear him.
Really?
I never hear him. I never see that in any conversations that I hear. It's always Pop, Biggie, Nas. That's who I always hear in those conversations. I never really get out. Now, once you get past the 5 slot, then you start hearing a few of those names. But see, like for me, bro, I know for a fact this is one of the best hip hop albums ever.
No, it is. It is. That's like, I'm not saying that because he's sitting right in front. I'm not one of those dudes because the artist is sitting right in front of me, and I'm cool with Dave. You need to go fucking get this album. But go ahead.
And I just don't want to see it just go off into history, because one thing that they'll do, and this has happened to me one time in history before, when I did the BET Hip Hop Cypher, BET literally called me and was like, dude, you had one of the best verses. It was you, Kendrick, and Eminem. It was out of y'all three, and you can pick any one for the first slot. And BET was like, dude. And what happened was, and Big Crit called me because he was at the BET Awards. He said everybody froze as if there was a roach in the room that nobody wanted to talk about, because David Banner's not supposed to do that.
Right.
That he's not supposed to do that shit right there. And at first I said I was going to allow the world to come to me. But there's something that I realized that's sad. Rap doesn't respect humble people. Like in the South, we're taught you don't brag on yourself. Like a real man, if you are in this game as a professional, you're supposed to be great. That is what you are supposed to do. But think about this, and we have to be honest. If Kanye wasn't an asshole, well, nobody paid no attention to him.
Right.
That's true.
If Wayne literally wouldn't have said, I'm the best rapper alive, no one would have paid attention to him.
From the history of hip, not all the history, because of course there was, all the hip hop fighting against the system and all that in the early days. But a lot of the early hip hop was people boasting and flossing, like, I got this, I got that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many humble rappers can you name?
You got a few of them.
Name five.
And some of them, and some of them, bro. All right, well, I mean, you got
musically, but
you got Black Thought.
Yes.
You got Common.
True.
I mean, to a certain degree, he cool, but like
Nas
is a humble rapper. I mean, he says he brags, but that's not. Look at Nas. Like Nas says it, but he's really a reserved, cool ass cat. Like, because he's from where he's from the bridge. Of course, he has to give that, but he's always been that. Same thing with Andre 3000. He's flamboyant, but he's a humble rapper. Like he doesn't live that bravado that you hear on the microphone. You feel what I'm saying? So the thing is that you have those people, and historically those people are always usually looked over, no matter how vicious that they happen to be on the mic. And that's one of the sicknesses with our form of music. Rap has turned into one of the few forms of music where you don't have to know how to do what it's called. You don't have to know how to rap to be great at rap. It's not about beats and rhymes anymore. And to a certain degree, it is our responsibility to at least be successful in showing these kids, if we really want these children to do great music, we have to show them success in great music, because white supremacy pays. So anything that these kids see that's making money, I even told somebody today on the show, if there was a song that came out, touch little kids. If a motherfucker saw that it can make some money, and the system saw that people wasn't up roaring about it, then nobody would say nothing. But other coaches don't do that shit. I give you an example. I just shot a very controversial video, and in the video, the thing about the video, because now I don't even think it's going to come into fruition anymore, it was all white people. Like the message that I was trying to get out is our culture is being taken, and then at the end of the video, black people were in a sunken state. Like they were watching TV and they couldn't do anything about it. Do you know, no matter how many casting directors we did, there were the white rappers and the white MCs was like, we're not doing that.
Really?
And then it made me think about how many A-list white actors will be in a black person's movie. Even think about the Wayans families.
Yeah.
Who career did they start off?
Jim Carrey?
Right. Did you ever see Jim Carrey in any of their movies?
That's true. I never thought about that.
Because they don't give their culture away. They don't give a fuck how much money you give them. But they take our culture and don't even defend black folks.
Which, by the way, there was I forget which song it was, but there was a line you said, do not let them take hip hop. They took hip hop the way they took rock and roll.
Yeah.
You said a lot about they. Like, is this the same they Khaled's talking about? Who is they?
Let me tell you something that I tell people about the God Box. The God Box is something that people have to interpret on their own. Erykah Badu taught me that. She said when you define the music too much, you take away the personal relationship that people have with it. Because like people feel like they feeling you, like, oh shit. They imagine if Pac came out and explained everything, and you felt like you was feeling Pac, but what he said, he didn't mean the same thing that you thought he meant.
Yeah.
It takes away from that personal. You never know how God is working with you. So a lot of times, because of our ego, we want people to feel the God box in the context in which we wrote it. When in actuality, all we are are conduits of the Most High.
Homie, there was so much shit on this album that we have to talk about this shit, bro. Are you crazy? So I'm a conspiracy theorist.
So I'm gonna tell you another secret really quick before you go into the conspiracy theory.
Okay.
There were some people that was on this album that pulled out, and I'm not gonna call their names
because of the content.
Because of the content of the album, and I wasn't mad at them because it's not for everybody.
Right.
Like I believe if God didn't lay it on your heart, I don't really want you speaking for us. Some, you know, I told somebody today, and my crew asked me to stop talking about this, but I've had 2 death threats. You know, once I
because of the album,
not because of the album, but because of the things that I talk about. You know what I'm saying? You know,
really?
when I attack white supremacy. And I talk about, you know, innocent black kids getting killed all over the United States. People are used to black people being happy with just their place in America. And I believe we are gods and goddesses.
Yes.
I believe that we all are gods. I don't even say goddesses because goddesses drops women to a lower level when that's not. I believe that we are all gods because we don't know if God is a male or a female or it or what God is. So, yeah, we already been into that. But go ahead to the conspiracy
which goes
theory.
Back to our original conversation.
But go to the conspiracy theory because I don't want you to lose what you were about to say.
We're going to start with all this shit. There's so much shit I want to ask you, okay? So when you say they, I'm thinking about, in my perspective, the people who run the world and who run the country.
And who do you feel that they are?
Well, now...
I would say the president.
No. See, in my opinion, in the conspiracy world, the president doesn't run shit. Okay, now if I don't know if this is true, this is just all the shit that you see online, but they say that there's families across the world, the rich families, it's above the money system, it's above anything that we see in music, you know, that it is really the banks and these rich families that control where like the food systems, the
water,
oil, yeah, everything.
Right.
And they control the media, which is kind of awkward because I'm in the media and I've never really witnessed anything that controls that because I wouldn't be able to have this conversation now. But apparently they control.
No, but you can have minor conversations. They don't worry about minor conversations. But when you start moving the masses of people and the people start listening to you, that's when it's a problem. You can talk the real truth. As a matter of fact, it's called hiding in plain sight. You can find out their names, which most of us don't know the real names of the real people.
No, they say the Rockefeller family.
And you can start calling these names out. But the fact that no one knows, no matter how much information you give people, unless they react. I just had people say that I rant, but I think I had my first rant because I don't rant. Like if it's the truth and I'm emotional about it, I'm just emotional about the fucking truth. It's not a rant.
Right.
And when you say rant, that's a way to discredit the information that you're giving. But the one thing that I said is, we can keep giving information all you want to. If the people don't move, it don't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter the reason why Pac was a problem is because when he said something, people moved. The reason why Malcolm was a problem because when he said something, people moved. Martin was a problem because when he said black folks march or black folks don't get on that fucking bus, guess what they didn't do?
They moved. Which is kind of crazy because you brought up the whole Pac situation. We interviewed last week the All Eyes on Me cast, and in all Pac's music. Now, I don't know how you feel about this whole Illuminati thing. You know, that's a big word, and that people translate to they, and that they don't, you know, they steal the music, they steal the black people's business and all this. But Tupac was always saying kill Illuminati, kill blah, blah, blah in his music. So I thought he was conscious of that type of stuff way before I even knew what the fuck that even meant and what it was. And I asked the cast, especially LT, who knew Pac, about that, and he said Pac, it felt like he made it seem like Pac knew how to get people's attention, but he didn't really believe that he really was into the Illuminati the way we took it. Like Illuminati means something different. It's the illuminated ones. It's not as bad as people take it. So I don't know. Like,
well, this is what I say about that. The Illuminati has always existed. That's what I tell. Like, black folks didn't start talking about the Illuminati on this level until they said that Jay-Z and Kanye were in it. And in order, like you said, to be in the Illuminati, you must be illuminated. Why would they illuminate any black person? It doesn't make fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is they don't have to illuminate any of us because we do the work without even getting any other fucking benefits. I would actually rather a motherfucker actually be in the shit and be a real fucking sellout. If you gonna do it right. But most of us are around here doing the bidding of our oppressor without even getting anything out of it. Now, I hate all that shit. Let's be clear. I'm not saying that I want any of our people to do that shit. But like the Illuminati is always fucking, I mean, the presidents and all of these different groups that we always hear about, they have existed as long as white folks have been on this continent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're... all of the fucking presidents, this shit has always been around. So now that they say Jay-Z or Kanye is in it, oh, now it's something big. Motherfuckers talk the shit without doing any fucking reading or studying. Like, black folks that say anybody who have money, oh, if he got money, he must be an Illuminati. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, people
They even said, fucking, this was the craziest shit ever. Mary was in the fucking Illuminati. I know them girls.
The gospel girls?
Get the fuck out of here, dog. You know, so the thing that I tell people is like, you know, and before you start rattling your mouth off, we have to start studying.
Yeah, do your research.
People don't study. If you realize, most people are followers. It only takes a few people to say something or see one little thing, and everybody starts repeating it, and it's just...
Right. That's why 2% of the people on this earth run this motherfucker.
Exactly.
Because we don't study, we don't research. You know, we don't have discipline. You know, the biggest thing that changed my life is not doing. Like, most people think it's what you do. Sometimes it's what you don't do. You know, the ability, I tell people this all the time, man. Like, how can you control your business? How you can control your kids? How can you control your neighborhood when you can't even control your appetite? I fasted for 14 days off just water and coffee, and 17 days with water and coffee and maybe 1 or 2 salads. You feel what I'm saying? And through that, you know, I've fasted for sex from as a rapper with a #1 hit for 7 months.
All right, because you in a place I can't go to.
Let me tell you, anything that you can't fast from, you are a slave to.
I can admit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So like, for us to move to that next level mentally, and that's a real man. My dad told me, he said, it's not what you say yes to that makes you a man, it's what you say no to. Because you're a fucking whore. You're literally a fucking whore. I hear people say, I do anything for the motherfucking money. I tell kids all the time who tell me they hungry, they bet I'm hungry. I say, I don't want you around me. They say, why? I say, because for the right price, you'll eat my ass too. You know, it's really what you won't do, bro. And to be honest with you, it's something about entertainment. And Dave Chappelle said it, bro. Like, I woke up one day, bro, and didn't know who the fuck I was, bro. And you've known me for a very long time. I've never been out there. But I was doing too much for the type of person that I am supposed to be. You know, so when you fast, when you stay away from certain things, it allows you to see clearly. I'm able to feel people when I'm in the room. I'm able to feel stuff before it happens, bro. Like, literally, bro. Like, my homeboys always geek out because when I say it's time to move, everybody leave. Because usually 15 minutes, somebody get their fucking head blown off. And that's from fasting. Now, think about it. In every religion, bro, every religion, the greatest people in that religion did what? Fasted. Got by themselves. They not only prayed, because I think black folks do too much motherfucking praying, but the biggest thing that we don't do, exit meditation, is we don't sit and listen. How many times do we sit in a room and be quiet and hear? That's where you get the greatest ideas. Think about this. The billion and trillionaires are the people who pull stuff from the unseen. Not the person who, I see something and you build on that. You can make a couple million off that shit. You can even be 50, 60 million, like, from doing shit like that. But the person who can pull stuff that has never been thought of or who has never been seen before, you got to get somewhere and be the fuck quiet. Those people don't have cell phones because they don't want anything to interrupt that God time and that quiet time. And even if you look at the biggest producers, the motherfuckers don't have cell phones. You gotta email them, and they'll get to that email. They'll get to that email when they have time to. but nothing is going to break up that quiet.
You said you said a lyric on the God Box that religion is a leash. Yeah. And I've told people
it's
this.
All slavery to me.
Yeah, I've told people this a long time now. I never said, before anybody gets mad at us one, I never said I don't believe in God. I said I don't really believe in religion. It's a completely different thing to me.
Well, even if you don't believe in God, fuck what somebody feels. Because think about this. Whether you believe in God or not, if God exists, you think God gives a fuck whether you believe or not? When your ass die, you gonna find out.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody feels like they know God. I always tell people, bitch, you don't know God. You don't know nothing about God. You ain't died and came back. As a matter of fact, most of y'all motherfuckers don't sit still long enough to tell me shit about God. And your actions don't show me God. So for me, that's what I say. Most people want you to believe in what they believe so they can control you.
Exactly. And, people get mad, especially religious people, when you talk about this because they've been raised to believe what they're supposed to believe. And it's like you're going against their family's beliefs, their culture, and they get angry and don't do any studying.
And most of the motherfuckers got their religion from the people who enslaved them. When I had an opportunity to go to Tanzania, when we went to Africa, that was what I learned. If you look at most of the places that run Africa, unless it's tribalism, and tribalism, African tribalism is very similar to Native American tribalism, to Asian tribalism. For the most part, they believe that God is in everything and you respect everything, right? So all these people say that they're Christian and Muslim. The Christian and Muslims were the people who created chattel slavery. So when you look at these different countries that are in Africa that are Christian and Muslim, people think that God, like they had, like their great-great-grandparents found God came out of the sky and touched them. That's a motherfucking lie. Whatever religion conquered their country, that's what the fuck they end up being. Then I asked somebody, I was like, dog, well, why you believe in that if they made your people slaves? And guess what they said?
What?
Because they had all the fucking resources. Because Arab Muslims treat black folks in Africa worse than white folks do.
Wow.
If you ever get an opportunity, bro, study John Henry Clark. He was the one, to me, like you can YouTube, I run to him. Like instead of running to music, I run to him. And if you think about it, bro, whether it's Muslim or Christian, black Muslims and black Christians are more religious than any of the people who gave them that form of that conventional religion.
Really?
Think about it. Well, white folks in America ain't acting like Jesus since we've been here. The fuck? How you gonna tell me about Jesus? You don't act like Jesus.
Well, which goes back to our original viral conversation that leaked. What is David Banner's definition of God? Like, do you believe that there's, and I might get people mad at you right now, but you keep it all the way real.
Shit, yeah.
Do you believe in that there's a heaven and a hell? Because if there's God, do you believe in the whole Satan thing? As you said something about Satan on your album.
No, I believe Satan is a crock of shit. Because why would God create something that would rival him, he, she, or it? That doesn't make sense. And even if I created you, you're still not an equal to me.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? My personal belief, and people believe what they want. And why would somebody care what you believe in anyway? See, people think God is outward. To me, God is inward. So that ain't none of your business no way. Malcolm said that. Malcolm, keep your fucking religion to yourself. Again, that's the reason why people want you to believe in what they believe in so they can control you. But Don Miguel Ruiz said something that sort of wrapped it up to me. He said that God doesn't need your help. If God is omnipotent like we think he, she, or it is, then they don't need you to fight their wars. Again, whatever's going to be is going to be in the end anyway, right?
Yeah.
Right? They don't need you to be an evangelist. But guess what does? A lie. You got to keep up a lie. In order to keep a lie intact, you got to tell 2 or 3 lies, right? Then
That's
2 or 3
true.
lies
Yeah.
turn into...
Yeah.
That sounds like religion to me. And I just want y'all to think about something. Any of you all these religious motherfuckers, you tell me within the last 500 years, what has religion done for any black person in America? And let's take it even deeper. People always tell about how far black folks that came in America. Well, what the fuck were you before we were called as slaves? We were gods. We created math and fucking science. So when you tell me how blessed we are in America, that's a crock of fucking bullshit. What were we before what you study? You don't study nothing past slavery or nothing before slavery. We were an ancient race of people before the first white gene touched this fucking earth. So don't tell me nothing about being
Which
blessed.
I want to go to that. See, this conversation is getting deep. Now, I don't know if you know this about me. I know we know each other a long time, but I'm mixed. I'm black and white.
Right.
All right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Right.
Sussman. My father's a white Jewish man. My mother's a black Christian woman from the South.
Word.
So I'm mixed. I never knew what racism was growing up until I got to high school. Okay, I just didn't know it existed. I didn't understand that anybody was different. When I got into the real world, I saw that there was some racism going on out here, and people made fun of me and all blah, blah, blah. Before slavery, before all the history books, in your opinion, where has this racism started against black people and against anybody?
Right.
Like, where do you think this came from?
I can give it to you, and it's only my opinion. We are at war and don't know it. It's a genetic war. I have two personal feelings about it. We are the dominant gene. You can pull white out of black, but you can't pull black out of white. And all black people truly have to do from a genetic standpoint is keep fucking. And we'll literally eliminate white folks from this planet. If people of color just keep fucking, that's all that you have to do. Because they're not reproducing at a rate that will sustain their race. And that has nothing to do with us. But they're literally dying. You know what I'm saying? But we don't think about it from that aspect. That's the reason why they do all the things that they do to us. The other reason that I believe is that they know that we are gods. Again, we are the dominant race. Everything, like they talk all of this shit about black people, but most of the things that talk about their dominance is a fucking lie. We civilized them. We taught them how to take baths. They were believing in 10, 12 gods, Zeus and everybody else. We were the one that taught them about monotheism. We the one taught them about science. We the one taught them how to groom themselves. Our hair grows towards the sun like a plant. Everything that grows towards the ground or falls towards the ground is dead. You understand what I'm saying? They see that everything about us is holy. Blonde hair is a recessive gene. You feel what I'm saying? That literally people who are born with blonde hair in most cases are what? Albinos. They're recessive. So everything about them, if you look at even the way that they speak, tall, dark, and handsome, sometimes it slips out. They even from a religious standpoint, they talk about the black Madonna. Well, if the Madonna is black, then what the fuck is the sun? The sun, Jesus is black. If that be the case, we came from the triple stages of darkness. The only reason why there is light was so that we can see ourselves. So in me saying that, they know that. Think about the places that we come from. There was sun, there was food. We could reproduce and eat anytime we want to. God spoiled us. So they knew who God's favorite child was, and that's jealousy.
And all the other races on Earth?
I think all of the races of the Earth from that point fall from that tree.
Okay.
The lighter you get, the further you away from the tree.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now, another thing you said that this has been talk since the 80s. You said on the album, you said that they gave us AIDS. You said that they smartened up and threw AIDS into the community.
Yeah.
Do you believe that's a fact?
Yes, I do.
How can you target something that's uncontrollable though? Because obviously a disease is uncontrollable.
Well, it's the same thing with crack. Don't you know that was for us, right?
Yes.
And anything that we do, we influence everybody. So then crack was never an epidemic until what? Till their children start smoking it. So they never like bro, one thing that one of my parents taught me is that if you try to keep someone down in the ditch, what do you have to do? You got to get down there to keep them down there. So that's the sad thing.
They're willing to have some casualties.
No, you have to have casualties or you can't keep them down. You feel what I'm saying? Anytime black folks get by themselves and alone, we always move further. One of the things that I tell people is I'm not angry anymore at white people. I just want them to leave us the fuck alone, and they won't. Every time we get our shit together, they create COINTELPRO or they burn down our fucking cities.
And by the way, I want to say this. Obviously, we're not talking about, well, I don't know what Dave's talking about, but I don't want to say all white people because I know a lot of white people that's like, they did what? Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
but what I tell those white people is that, and I said this one time, you know, similar to how I feel about cops, I don't believe that there's any good cops. I'll tell you why. One of my friends, very close friends, is a cop. And he said, David Banner, I'll listen to your lectures. He said, but I want to add one thing to it. He said, every good cop knows who the bad cops are.
But they don't say nothing.
And they don't say shit.
But doesn't that go back to the street rule?
No,
You can't
but
snitch?
No. You are held by an oath, and you are paid to do right.
That's true. Yeah.
See, cops can't jump on this side when it's most convenient. You're supposed to be better because you are trained and you are fucking paid. Ain't it a bitch that I gotta pay the motherfuckers with my taxes and they still beat on my ass and just say that they regular? No, don't be regular. Lie. Give me back my regular motherfucking money. Like, and I'll tell you something. If it was really a mistake, guess what will happen? They will be killing white kids at the same rate. Because in actuality, statistically, and the federal government put this study out, white kids sell and do drugs it's 2 times more than black and Latino people do. But black and Latino people are pulled over twice as many times. Mm-hmm. So for the most part, if they were really making mistakes, they would make a mistake and kill their kids the same way.
Yeah.
But they don't. That's a crock of bullshit.
Nah, everybody knows it's bullshit.
Yeah, but the thing that I will say is nothing is permanent. But what I will tell you, if people in America start killing dogs, what would happen? Laws would start getting passed, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. If all these good white folks really cared about black folks,
that's a fact.
They would stop it. They would pass laws.
Who was that? Who was the guy that got arrested for killing the dog? I forgot who it was, but he went to jail for that. But none of these cops go to jail for any of this shit.
Yeah, man. So for me, bro, the way that we solve it is that we're gonna have to start doing something, and it's not for me to say what that is. But white supremacy, and again, I said this last time, only respects 2 things. It's the loss of life or the loss of finances. We're going to have to pick. But the thing that we're also going to have to realize is I personally believe that should go for everybody that kills an innocent black child. Whether you are alien, you green, you white. Once people know, because think about this, bro. Kill a fucking white kid if you want to. They're not calling the police. They're coming to your fucking house.
That's true.
Kill a Russian if you want to. Kill a motherfucking Asian child, the Yakuza, ninjas, all kind of shit coming to. They gonna fucking drift into your motherfucking parking lot and flips and shit like that. But such the truth is that we don't truly love our children like we say we do. We don't.
Man,
we don't.
I just think people are scared.
Well, fucking coward.
But then if you scared,
or they
then
don't
where
believe.
does the change come from? Right.
We ain't scared to kill each other. That's what I hate. And when I say nigga, I mean the word. I mean it in a negative way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nigga should be abolished from our language because there are some niggas and some bitches out here and you should call them. A fucking nigga will kill a black man for stepping on his motherfucking J's and then you a coward? When these motherfucking crackers come to your neighborhood and treat your fucking family and your friends any kind of fucking way you want to, you'll kill a motherfucker if they don't bring you back $1 past what they owe you on some motherfucking dope that's killing your own motherfucking community and you scared now, nigga? You go to a fucking club where they shoot every fucking day to throw money at, well, that's neither here or there. Yeah. We're scared of what the fuck we want to. Our life value raises when it's time for us to do something that matters. When it's time to go get a pedophile that's fucking touching on these motherfucking children at our motherfucking school. Oh, now we fucking scared. Get the fuck out of here. All these motherfucking gangsters and all of these motherfuckers with all these fucking guns and they scared, dude? What the fuck? No, you're scared of the concept of white people. And most black people think white folks are better than them. And when they see white folks, guess who they see? They see Jesus. When most black people see white people, they see Jesus. And when they see black folks, they see niggas. We gotta change that, bro.
Word. That's strong words. Never heard somebody say that.
We see forgiveness. Think about your grandma. I don't mean specifically your grandma. Right. But when a black person kill a black person, what your grandma say? Go kill them niggas.
Yeah.
White person kill an innocent black kid. Oh, we gotta pray. We gotta march. Fuck that.
Yeah, I feel you.
Man, they see Jesus. I don't see Jesus in none. I don't see Jesus in none of them, bro.
I got to talk to you about more things that you said on your album. Okay? By the way, if you're just tuning in, David Banner's in the building.
Oh, and by the way, go purchase the God Box.
The God Box is serious, and everything that we're talking about is things that I'm questioning about that was said on his album. Now, you said that they killed Michael Jackson. Yeah. That's been a conspiracy since he passed. Right. You know, a lot of people feel that way. Why do you feel that way?
Well, let me tell you, whether they killed him or not, isn't it strange that white folks' heroes get to live till they 80, 90 fucking years old? You know, they snort half of Peru.
Well, to argue against that, some people will be like, well, we believe the system killed Kurt Cobain or killed
No, Shotgun killed Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, he killed himself.
Yeah.
Who else did? Who else?
I mean, you can find exception to the rule, but think about most of our leaders. They die before they 34.
Yeah, they do.
We just I was looking at, man, shit, all of the rappers that died in their 40s, bro. For the most part, they heroes and they presidents and shit live to be fucking old ass men. So isn't it not strange that Michael Jackson owns 52% of Sony and happens to die, and the only way that you can break a trust is death? You know, Prince just renegotiates his deal where he can control his shit, and all of a sudden he dies. Fucking Chris Lighty fucking dies.
That one is unexplainable.
Shakir Stewart dies, and nobody in hip hop wants. I said it on the God Box. This is my second time asking what happened to Chris Lighty or Prince. I'm convinced that they die, and they tell us that it's drugs or suicide. Then they sweep that shit under the rug. Come on, man.
Because they sell us what they want you to believe in the media.
And we oh yeah, that's fucking right. Michael Jackson, man, get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. Prince looked like he was 12 fucking years old.
I gotta say though, I kind of agree. I completely agree with David. Actually, they kill a lot of the powerful celebrities, but I feel like if they were gonna kill Mike, wouldn't that have happened around the Thriller album or when he was when he was running the whole world, the Bad album?
No, Michael Jackson wasn't talking the shit. They was controlling him, and he was doing exactly what they wanted him to do. If you stay in line, you live. Well, you didn't see all them videos when Michael Jackson was breaking down the whole.
You did say in the album when he turned black again, that's when they went against him.
Yeah, bro. So for me, bro, like, it just bothers me that we keep dying so fucking early, my dude, and ain't nobody saying shit, bro. And regardless of whether it's and let me tell you something about the conspiracy aspect of conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. It's not a fucking conspiracy if it's true.
Well, it's conspiracy because nobody really knows for a fact that it's true.
If it happened, if it happened, it's not a theory.
Yeah.
You may say that you don't believe it happened that way.
That way, yeah, that's what I mean.
If we say, you know, Michael Jackson died from this, that, and okay, well, it's not a conspiracy if the motherfucker dead. You know, and the thing that I don't understand about our people, think about this. We usually always find an excuse to give white people the benefit of the doubt. Well, it's this or that. These are people who have historically lied about everything on this planet. Christopher Columbus did not discover fucking America. Native Americans were already here, and the Moors had been trading with fucking Native Americans for years. They lie to you, and you know it's a fucking lie, and we still take that. No, I'll never hear black folks talking about Christopher Columbus. That's a fucking lie. Santa Claus is a fucking lie. But you believe everything about Christianity and you have no fucking proof. Think about
That's a big argument with me with everybody, by the way.
Yeah, but think about this, bro. Every other thing that happens in history, you can find coins.
Yeah.
Or you can find the people's clothes. Or you can find a fucking bone. We believe shit that's totally fucking made up from fucking liars. And I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm not saying it. That's not what I'm saying.
But at least do your homework.
Why do we believe it when these motherfuckers have always lied to us? And niggas look at me like I'm crazy? Bitch, you crazy. You the one fucking believe this. You still telling your kids that a fat fucking white man bringing them fucking toys and you fucking sold crack for 17 years to get that PlayStation. At least get your fucking credit. I'm being real though, dog.
Nah, you being real.
Yeah,
I understand. There's so many different things.
Bro, you gotta go, bro.
Because he gotta go, and there's so many things I want to talk to you about.
Bro, like we have a friendship now, bro. So the reason why I wanted to be here today is because as black people, we always say, "I got you," but nobody ever has you, bro. Like people always say that their word is bond. You know, Goody Mob said it in a song. You say you the G.O.D., but you act like a nigga to me. It's in your actions, bro. And I see your support for me, bro. You know, I see your passion when it comes to me, and I appreciate that, bro. Because one thing that people don't know, this album is 100% independent. Like I paid for everything. We got 17 billboards in Oakland.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And what I'm doing is I'm using my money on the West Coast while I'm physically going up and down the East Coast. And then when I go over to the West Coast, then I'm gonna start let my money work on the East Coast, and then bleeding it around the world. I'm gonna promote this album for a whole year.
This album you need to promote for a few years. This is a dope album.
Yeah.
This is the album right here, the God Box. My Uzi is tough.
But Sus, let me tell you before we finish, because this is important, bro. Part of what they've done to us in slavery, bro, think about it. The people that treat us the best, we don't support them. Mm-hmm. We don't give them, but people that call us niggas and bitches, we applaud motherfuckers selling crack to us, dog. And our neighbor, we applaud that shit. We applaud people that treat us like bitches and hoes and niggas. Actually, bro, when I read the book Pimp by Iceberg Slim, now that I'm older, when I was reading it when I was young, I was trying to pick up pimping pointers so I could use them on our people. But he said something that was so powerful. He said, "Did you know where pimping came from?" Sweet James Jones was teaching him. Do you know where pimping came from? The concept of pimping is black men took what slave masters did to black men and turned it on black women. That's all pimping is. Wow. It's slave psychology. You feel what I'm saying? So look at our music, bro. We talking about the white supremacy rap is almost the right hand of white supremacy. They don't have to call us niggas. We do it. They don't have to put drugs in our community. We'll go find the fucking drugs and bring them here. You feel what I'm saying? But like I told you about like the white actors, bro, like they hold down their community.
Yo, Dave, I think we're gonna have to set up another interview, but not for the radio. I think we need to do a podcast. I need like 2-3 hours with you. In closing, because I know you got other places to go. They knocking on the door. But in closing, and this is gonna be for the next part of the interview. I think we're gonna have to do a podcast or something. Right. But do you believe, this is going back to the religion, everything, do you believe in souls, and where do you believe what happens to people when they pass?
That's easy. I don't fucking know.
That's a real answer.
Like, I don't fucking know, but what I will tell you is that we're here now. Like, white people ain't waiting on heaven. They got the heaven right the fuck here. I want mine right now, just in case none of this shit. Because I tell people, I don't know the truth, but I know what they're giving us is a fucking lie. They didn't want you on earth. Why the fuck would they give you the key to heaven? It's not logical. They hate you. They don't
you feel the need to want to fucking find out? I want to find out the truth to everything before I
die.
Die.
It's gonna happen. Your ass gonna die within the next 50 years.
And hopefully we're still conscious to know what the truth is after that.
Whatever it is, that shit gonna hit your ass dead in the fucking face. Even if it's nothing. Even if it's fuck. I don't give a fuck. Because of this, bro. We are trying so hard to find the afterlife when we can't even fix our situation. We can't even stop them from killing our kids.
Yeah.
Like we're so I forgot whether this was Buddha or I forgot who said this, but it was in one of the ancient Asian books. He said depression is being caught up in the past. Anxiety is being caught up in the future. Be present. Because when your ass die, you go find out everything you want right there.
And I hope you're right.
Or not.
I hope you're right. I love you too, bro. We're going to have a part 2. We're going to have to do a podcast. We got to do a podcast. Yeah. DJ Sus One, Ali V is here. David Banner.
Next time we want to get you involved. It's just that it's crazy because this has literally been a while. And I'm serious, bro. It was on my soul. I had to keep my word.
And this is not even the full conversation. I got to have more conversation. Yeah. I'm telling you, I didn't even get half the shit out. Yeah. Dave, thank you for coming to the show.
It's all good, man.
God Box out right now. You got to go get God Box. This album, where the fuck's the album? This album is crazy. All right, David Banner, my nigga. Love.